What's up, Dub Nation? Rich with Let's Go Warriors here once again. And I'm remembering to click on the show comments on stage. So on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you will see your comments show up there. It is 8:22 p.m. Pacific time. And I wanted to go live because I promised you I would do a follow-up with the Herb Jones trade scenario. Now there's really nothing confirmed on that, but in the process of going through the cap sheet analysis, you can learn a lot, and you can learn a lot about what might be happening with all the delays. And I think it's good to show you what's going on here and go through some scenarios, and I think you'll have a greater appreciation of why things haven't really materialized for the Warriors. I mean, obviously, Kuminga is the fulcrum on everything, but yeah, let's go Warriors. We're all about gratitude, appreciation, mindfulness, a core value I stole from Steve Kerr, empathy, which is a core value that our blue wrenches, our loyal audience members that keep coming back to our live streams, they told me about. And R would be respect. And that's what we're here to do, is to look at this in a reasoned, objective manner where we're honestly emotionally regulated, because I've just been seeing so much stuff on Twitter. I can't even open the app anymore. And I think it ruins our Warriors experience. And that's where I come in. So I am the antithesis to Warriors Twitter. I try to just keep everything open-minded, and honestly, the empathy part, which again, our audience members really brought forth. Before I get into this particular cap sheet analysis, I forgot to go to the browser, and I was just looking up some stuff. Let's go look at the YouTube channel of this channel, Let's Go Warriors. And we have done a couple of lives now. Well, if you go back to the videos, the JJJ idea is probably not happening. All signs pointing to Memphis creating the cap space to renegotiate Jaren Jackson's contract. Of course, we've done a couple of these interviews that have captions and the transcript. I'll post the transcript of the post-draft of Mike Dunleavy on the website shortly. That's letsgowarriors.com. And then in terms of the live streams, we did the Looney tribute, and then we did basically this was the Trey Murphy one where there was a rumor from Scoop B, and this was the Scoop B Robinson article on he's hearing that the Pelicans are interested in Kuminga, but we haven't gotten anything else. And then again, yesterday I said this on the live. I was told by an NBA insider that Scoop B Robinson is not really reliable when it comes to those things. So just, grain of salt on those. So let me put in the description the notes, and one of the notes will be the link to last night's live where we mocked the Trey Murphy for JK scenario, looking at cap sheets. And that is, oops, that's right here. I should say, I should just combine those two. Dang it. Hold on. There's the link. Clean it up a little bit. Delete that one. Could we possibly trade for JP? No. His contract is ginormous. Who are we going to trade for him? So that's a you know, physics for poets level. So that's a question from someone who obviously doesn't know about the salary matching and the cap sheets, and that's fine. I want to make sure you guys start doing this. It's only going to help you. I mean, you don't need to come onto a live. You don't need to ask anybody. All you got to do is just go to Hoops Hype. Type in, just Google Golden State Warriors salaries, right? Use Hoops Hype, one of the best sites out there. Hoops Hype, salaries Warriors. It'll bring you to the Golden State Warriors salaries. From that point, any other team, whatever team page you happen to be on, you can switch it over to New Orleans like this using the menu. And the first step is always, how much is your person you're thinking about, how much is he making? And well, this in the off season, they officially, it hasn't gone through, the transaction hasn't gone through. So another place you can go to is capsheets.com. So capsheets.com, this guy Yossi Goslin, he's awesome. You can just go to any one of the 30 teams and see the theoreticals. Jordan Poole, scroll a little bit here, 31 million. You know, you'd have to match that salary. You have to know that JK's salary going out only counts as 50%. So, you know, it's just who are you going to trade to get Jordan Poole? Like, are you really trading Draymond Green and Moses Moody? How do I know that those add up? Because I've looked at the cap sheet for the Warriors a million times. So I know Draymond is making 25, Moses Moody 36. That's about 37 million. That would get close to what you need to get Jordan Poole, or actually 32. So 32 million. Draymond Green and, I don't know, Buddy Hield. That would do it. You add them up. So you got to start with the basics like that. Anyway, let me finish that description note. Trey Murphy for Kuminga cap sheet analysis. And that was right there. Okay, so let's get into the Herb Jones one. And I'm worried about the comments sidetracking me, so let me check the comments right before I jump in and see if I want to answer those or not. Okay. Who's the other option besides Melton? Let's see. Aim assist is in the house. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this, actually. That's false. I don't like your attitude, Frano. Yeah, I just don't like the vibes. So we need to take a timeout for Frano. Frano, this is why I timed you out. Let's go slowly. I'm not here to replicate Twitter. Like, my my chat, my comment, which is mostly yours as well, it is not a duplication of Twitter. So if you're gonna be the Sith Sith Lord with your absolutes coming onto the channel, igniting your red lightsaber, like that's not the place for it to just throw people under the bus, because there's plenty of arguments to say that Melton played great during the time that he was healthy.
Energy is first. You could sit down with somebody for 2 minutes and just exchange a few words and know where that person is vibrationally. If they talk about other people, gossiping, hating, like, all right, this might not go that far. I remember one time I had a moment in the studio where J.Cole was there, and I was just having a bad day, and I started just talking trash. I was talking to my other friend, Teron, and Cole came in the room, and within 2 minutes, he heard what we was talking about, and he got up and left. And I just remember being like, damn. What we say? Why did he do that? Yeah. But then I realized we wasn't on the same frequency. He not on that. Complaining, that kind of conversation does not circulate in higher level rooms. He didn't judge me. He didn't say nothing bad. He sat there, he listened for like a minute, and then he got up and left. Because what happens is when you're high vibrational, most likely, those people are going to bring you down. You're not going to be able to bring them up.
I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus, Melton included. I would like to think that Let's Go Warriors is a place where if a player or a coach checks out our lives, which has happened before. Dude, I've had Pajemski's dad on here, like it's just not a place where, if you want to complain about Brandon Pajemski, if you want to complain about D'Anthony Melton, go to that app that I know you have. I'm thinking about the Shaq smile right now. He knows you have that app right in your pocket. You want to go to Twitter and you want to thumb type your life away and complain. I'm trying to teach you not to be that way. I know life is stressful and all that. How about if I use the Warriors content to teach you how to be high vibrational? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be great? Step number 1, watch the Money Long video that I just showed you with J.Cole. Step number 2, so check, you've done to-do number 1. Congratulations, everybody. Step number 2, stop thumb typing anything that's complaining. You have to rid yourself of that. It's a disease. Just stop complaining. Learn how to stop complaining, and that will change your life as a first step. Of course, you have to understand that people are in survival mode all the time. So you have to turn that off. You have to think about, when it's your birthday, how do you feel? When it's your birthday, you're opening your heart. You're purposely pushing out any complaining in your life. Same thing with Christmas. So that's when you become more available to energy out there. But we're getting a little delayed by that, dragged down, and that's what Twitter does. So I see the problem that I see on Twitter is that it's not just fans here and there. There's plenty of fans. It's the Warriors fan pages that aggregate the fans together. They are complaining and they're saying, why doesn't Dunleavy do something? All of a sudden, Dunleavy has become this guy that people are burning at the stake. I think it's just because they're just stressed out with their lives and they need to thumb type that. So they bully him on there because Dunleavy isn't standing in front of them like a human being. So that's why I like to do lives here, is because you're talking to a human being. It's live. It's really nothing to hide. And I hope that you don't act like you can get away with saying all these bad things by thumb typing in a form like this. So I will go ahead and, delete and remove any comment that really, I'm trying to teach, and I'm hoping people are open to learning. And this stuff right here in the background, like this isn't easy stuff. Like, first of all, how many people out there actually know how to program a spreadsheet, how to put in formulas like sum B1 through B14? I mean, this isn't everyday off the street type of stuff. So you will shut this stuff off if you've got other things that you're worried about, that you have anxiety about, and that's fine. So either you'll have to leave the stream and come back and watch the replay when you're in a better mood and you're not having that anxiety, or just push through it and just don't thumb type while I'm going through this, and just try and listen in for the data, not the judgments, just the data. And the data are in the numbers. So you guys know that we're here yesterday, and thank you to those who were. Trey Murphy, J.K., and Buddy. I thought about it a little bit more. Man, losing Buddy, ooh, that hurts, because you don't have a shooter. So I don't know. But Trey Murphy, you definitely gain a shooter. By the way, we do lose Moses Moody. So those are some of the basics, like incoming salary. Now, Antonio Reeves actually got waived today, which is pretty ironic. But they have another guy. What's his name again? I put it on the herb. Oh, here it is. It's they could just trade this as a salary slot. Carlo Matkovic. That would be here. Carlo Matkovic or Matkovic. Okay, so that gets you 26, 27 million. The reason why is because you would need to trade out 2 players, match the salary as close as possible for 2 players. You're not doing the aggregation thing because we're over the first apron, but under the second apron the moment we sign JK to 30 million. So this was last night. We went through that. You can go look at the link in the description for that. So you see that in the comments. So I wanted to try the easier one. And actually the Pelicans are kind of neat because they have 2 guys that are attractive to the Warriors because they're wings. One of them happens to shoot threes very well. That's Trey Murphy. The other one happens to not shoot threes very well. In fact, probably worse than Jonathan Kuminga. But he is like an all defensive type of player, which is great because defense wins championships. But you also have to make shots. So his salary is really right at the range of JK's 50% of this due to the base year compensation rule. So in that base year of his compensation of 30 million, it's going to be 50% of that in any sign and trade. So we've got to get at least to 11 million. That's easy. Oh, we'll just sign JK to this number. And it's hypothetical. We put 30 million in there because it allows us to be right under the second apron, and it's pretty realistic. I mean, you could say 25. I don't think Kuminga wants 20. I'm pretty sure he wants at least what Jabari Smith is making, which is 24. And Jabari Smith comes off the bench for Houston. They're kind of both wing players. They're kind of power forward position. So yeah, I'll get to all your comments after I'm done here, but there's going to be a catch here. The catch is that the Pelicans, they add Kuminga salary. Of course, they're getting rid of, this is their salary to start right now per Yossi Goslin's capsheets.com. They have all these, Jordan Poole has an incentive, DeJounte Murray has, Sadiq Bey has one. So you got to add all of the totals on those count. So 198,78414 is what I punched in right here. And then here you minus out they lose Herb Jones, but they gain Jonathan Kuminga, 30 million, right? That puts them really close to the second apron. I just don't know that the Pelicans want to do that. They might need to, like, at that point, unload DeJounte Murray because he's got the Achilles injury, 31 million. Unload that, and I don't know, buy him out, just like it looks like, teams are doing. Buyouts have become en vogue suddenly. Yeah. So overall, I do want to caveat all of this. Like, somebody who's really knowledgeable about cap sheets is going to look at the title of this video, and they're going to go, Herb Jones-for-Kuminga to the Pelicans? Bah. And the reason why is because it would put New Orleans right at the second apron, and they're not going to be a second apron team. There's no way. I mean, they finished out of the play-in, and then you're going to go into the, just under the second apron. I don't think that's fiscally responsible. But this exercise is good for potentially the near future in terms of, let's say we sign JK for, I don't know, 25 million, whatever it is. They got to negotiate that. And we keep them. And then in February, then guess who we're looking at again? Maybe by then the Pelicans, with whatever Joe Dumars is doing, bringing in Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney, like maybe they struggle again, and they're like, okay, we really need to make some changes. We still like Jonathan. Let's just trade for him straight up. Trey Murphy for Jonathan. We might do that more so in February. So that's a huge caveat. So I wanted to put that in there. So 20-minute mark, caveat to the entire video. Any trade for JK will put NOP near second apron, which doesn't seem fiscally responsible on their part. Joe Dumars' part. However, just going through this exercise, you learn so much. And so let's go ahead and execute the deal, and let's learn what this is going to do to us. Number one, the great thing about trading for Herb Jones instead of Trey Murphy is that to get the Trey Murphy, you had to throw in Moses Moody. And we wouldn't have to send Moses. We get to keep Moses because Herb is only making 14 million. Okay, so where does that leave us? Mo with Buddy. Now let's figure out the Al Horford situation, right? Al Horford right now would be probably using the taxpayer mid-level, and I have some notes here. I should reduce the font on this a little bit on the side here. Let's change the format row. No, hold on. There we go. Resize. Yeah, fit to data. I always like to do that. It could fit a little bit more. Oh, why is this? Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so I put in gray here some notes, some key numbers. Veterans minimum, which is the cap charge for having a veteran. This will come into play when we talk about Dame Lillard in a second. This is the taxpayer mid-level. It's 5.685 million. It's if you're over the tax line, which is us. If you're under the tax line, then you can use 14.1 million, which is what Sacramento is probably doing with Dennis Schroeder, maybe, or the Lakers. The Lakers are paying both Ayton at 8 million, and I texted my Lakers friend to ask him how much LaRavia was getting in the non-taxpayer mid-level, and I don't know if he got back to me. No. But probably they're giving Jake LaRavia here. Let's just go to. I'm going off on a slight tangent here. Los Angeles Lakers, Jake LaRavia. Yeah, they're giving them. So this plus this is almost 14 million. And they should be near the luxury tax. So they went under the luxury tax. They're using the non-taxpayer mid-level to pick up both DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia. These two have to equal under 14.1 million. They do, and they're under the first apron, because if you use the non-taxpayer mid-level, you got to be under 196 million or so, and they're at 192. So they're pretty much done. They will not get Al Horford. Good news for us, which is why everyone's saying that we're probably going to get Al Horford. So they waited around for Horford, but honestly, like, they would have had to fill this one with the veterans, with a rookie, probably. That would have saved them $1 million. They'd be at 191. They still, yeah, they could have just given Jake LaRavia maybe a little bit less, or they could trade out Shake Milton, trade out Jordan Goodwin, and shed a little bit salary there to get Al Horford at taxpayer mid-level. So we know that they could only afford taxpayer mid-level, which is what we can only afford. And part of the problem is Jonathan. So we don't know this number. And sure would be nice if we were able to get to the tax level, which is way down at luxury tax at 187. So again, we've traded for Herb. Mo, we'll keep Buddy. This is a note from the previous live stream, my fault. BP, Trace, Ski, QP. And we have 3 more spots to go. JK's out. So Horford at that taxpayer mid-level puts us at 193, which is under the first apron. But you see, at that point, 193, you're really close to the luxury tax. So at that point, you might actually want to, what if you could trade out Buddy and get, let's say, Melton, fully healthy Melton, get Melton in. By the way, nobody's mentioned Rick Celebrini. We have like the best trainer in the NBA. So you're going to knock Melton for a bad back and this and that. Well, we do have Celebrini, and I think the back situation is just like, you wouldn't want him to play back-to-backs, but if you have a deep enough team, then you can manage it better, make sure if Melton's having a rest day on a back-to-back, make sure that Steph is playing the other back-to-back or something like that. You stagger it a little bit. And so what I'm saying is maybe you trade out Buddy, which we did last spreadsheet, and you fill this in with a veterans minimum for now. So we're going to earmark this for a veterans minimum. Some veteran guy, right? Older vet. Let me do this so you can see more of the spreadsheet. Man, that gets us below the tax. If you were to trade him for some veteran out there. So that gets us below the tax. Then you can open up the 14.1 million. At that point, you go, okay, Al, I'll give you the same as the TPE. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of a bonus. Let's just put it at 6 million. Because you would have gotten 5.8. You don't need to bargain against yourself. The Lakers are out of the picture now. They went with Jackson Hayes. They kind of had no choice. Didn't want to wait for Horford and maybe lose Jackson Hayes to another team. So maybe you just keep it at the 5.685. But in this case, you can give Horford $6 million. And at that point, Melton, who by the way has been rumored by Brett Siegel, go look at Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, just put it on an article, within the last hour, said that it looks like what he's hearing is the Lakers are going to get Melton. Well, I tell you what, if you give Melton some of that non-taxpayer mid-level, he's coming here, so you match these salaries here just out of, good bargaining faith, keep those similar. And then guess what? Actually, at that point, you can actually afford Lillard at a veteran's minimum, because we could not afford Lillard in the Trey Murphy example. And most of the cap sheet trade scenarios, it's hard to afford Dame unless you trade out Buddy. And I mean, if you get a commitment from Lillard and you're like, okay, you can't renege on this. We're gonna get you, Al Horford, Melton, and let's say just hypothetically Herb Jones all in one fell swoop. We get to keep Moody, so you still got Moody, a shooting wing out there. That means you're coming to the Golden State Warriors, right, Dame? And he goes, damn, that's a good roster. Okay, I'm in, right? So okay, then plug him in at the vet min. We're under the first apron, guys. So in essence, that's a trade of J.K. for Herb Jones. No, that's a trade of J.K. and Buddy. Essentially, that's a trade of J.K. and Buddy for Herb Jones, Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, and Damian Lillard. Would you do that? But it's all hypothetical. Everybody has to jump at the same time. We don't know what Melton's thinking right now. We don't know about this, but I would assume that him getting more than the taxpayer mid-level, more than the veterans minimum, I'd assume he would jump at that. Same thing with Horford. And, you could just even make this even bigger because he got $14 million to play around with. So that's an idea. Again, the big caveat, though, one more time, very important. New Orleans would be up the wazoo in salaries. Right now, this doesn't look realistic, honestly. But did I maybe give you some inspiration? Did I maybe give you some good news amongst everything that you scroll through on Twitter? That's my job. My job is to be the antithesis of Twitter. My job is to remind you about humanity, remind you that when people get together in a live setting, in a human setting, we can literally pretend that Damian Lillard is sitting here with us. We can pretend that DeAnthony Melton is sitting here with us. Al Horford is sitting with us. We could pretend Buddy Hield is sitting with us and Jonathan Kuminga. And they might be okay with this. Now, maybe not Buddy, but send them to a good team. Tell them, hey, we're sending you to whatever team it is. Detroit, up and coming, whatever team that can, probably not the Nets. Try to avoid sending Buddy to the Nets. But if you do trade out Buddy and you're doing this is just another way to look at the sign and trade for JK. It doesn't have to be JK for Herb Jones in a vacuum. It can be like this whole picture. This is very exciting. And that's my job. My job is to give you something exciting to root for. Or Let's Go Warriors. We root for our team. So I'm just doing my job. So that's the idea that I have. But a lot of pieces have to fall together. So let's do the poll. And it's a tough one. Because you know what? You trade for Herb Jones. You are now a defensive team. You do have a shooter in Mo, but you lost, an all-time shooting great in Buddy Hield. That's tough to replace. Then again, Melton can hit some shots. We saw that when they went 12-3. And then maybe you get Lillard back by the All-Star break or a little bit later. Oh my gosh, right? But this scenario also can be presented to Dame and go, hey, look, we can actually afford you. And I'm sure everybody's in a holding pattern right now because I should do one more thing just for you guys. I got to get out of here by 9:30, so that gives us enough of a buffer. But basically, the poll would be, would you trade JK plus Buddy for what essentially? Because again, everybody has to jump up at once. Everybody has to be in agreement at once on this. For Herb plus Horford plus Melton plus Dame. I mean, let's not even put Dame in there because that's a no-brainer. So not Dame. Assume no Dame. But if we did this, if we unlocked the non-taxpayer mid-level, which is if we get under this tax line of 188 million, then we can unlock this 14.1 million. And just getting under the tax basically allows us to have a spot for Dame. Because what did we do in the last Trey Jones one? Yeah, we had to trade out Buddy. Either way, it's the same. And we're 194 under the first apron. You get hard capped at the first apron. So really the question is, would you trade Buddy to give you more flex, give you the chance? Anyway, yes, no, or I don't know, maybe abstain. I wish that I don't know, maybe abstain wins, because this is really super hypothetical, and I think you just gotta wait on JK. And then we're gonna talk about what if JK exercises his, actually I should save that for another live. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, because I've already gone 37 minutes and I haven't even looked at comments. So essentially this exercise is, would you trade? And by the way, this similar vote last night won by a landslide. Not Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. I guess you guys really don't like Buddy. It's kind of funny. JK and Buddy. Now, the other thing, the caveat to what I just said in the poll, I know the poll has some holes. That rhymes. The poll has some holes. And if one of my haters were to hop on right now, he'd go, oh, what are you talking about, that kind of a poll? You can't include Horford in that. Horford's in the bag. We got Horford. Well, first of all, offering Horford some of the non-taxpayer mid-level, oh, heck no, is he going to retire? Like, I don't even think he wants to retire. Why pass up 6 million, 5.8 million for a chance to win another championship while you can still play and while we have minutes for you? You'd literally be in our starting five, which is amazing for a 40-year-old. But anyway, would you trade JK and Buddy for, I'm typing in the notes, Herb Jones? Got to look at the whole picture. Horford, Melton, parentheses, and Dame. Pretty sure that's gonna. I think you guys. I should have changed the next time, tomorrow or whenever I do the next poll. I mean the next live. I think maybe I'll wait until, because this Jonathan thing, Kuminga, this is gonna take a while. Like, there's no need to rush on his side. He wants to talk to teams, and you know, try and drum up interest. There's Sacramento apparently is interested, Miami, Chicago, now this New Orleans one, which is kind of out in left field because it's from Scoop B. Robinson, who doesn't have the best reputation. The Kings, see, the Malik Monk one, like, I don't want to get smaller. That's why I never wanted Kobe White. I don't really care how good he is at 6'5". Like, I would rather go this route and have Herb Jones, 6'7", 7 feet wingspan, can guard anybody. Like, I want to go that route. I wouldn't want to go get smaller. Like, unless you told me you're trading out pods, which I don't want to trade pods. I'm just saying, like, we can only have so many small guys on the team, and one of them plays a lot of games. And, it's a defense mindset. I'm worried about our defense and having, we already start BP. So, Jimmy's not that tall either, right? 6'7", but sort of a non-vertical 6'7". All right. So I think next time I would put a fourth option on the poll, which is, or you just want something to happen. I think that's what's driving most of the yeses, is that you just want something to happen. And that's a good segue into Jonathan, where Jake Fischer, we have the video on our Discord. Good time to talk about our Discord. Go check that out. Here, I'll put the free version on for you. Let's Go Warriors Discord free. See if you guys like the free version. Well, I don't think the free version is that good, but I'll get to your comments in a second. Right here. We go to switch over to our Discord. And let's go to JK. Oh no, let's see, where was it? Did I put the Jake Fischer? I didn't even put the Jake Fischer one on. Yeah, crap. I'll do it right now. Let me see. I got to find it first. Hold on. Just give me a minute. 60 seconds. Let's see. Oh, is it here? Did any trades happen while I was on live? A resolution on Jonathan Kuminga could come in the coming days. Okay. Anthony Slater says the Wizards have generated some notable interest. That was literally half an hour ago when I went live. Brett Siegel says he hasn't heard of the Wizards one. Okay. Time out. Let's go look at the Wizards. Corey Kispert, Kelly Olynyk, and Marcus Smart. Yikes. I wouldn't want to do that. No, I'm not breaking up JK for Corey Kispert, Kelly Olynyk, and Marcus Smart. I can't do that. That's a lot of pieces again. I know, but like, oh, I don't know. Marcus Smart is a dog. I don't think Kispert's that good though. Oh, I don't know, man. I think I'm more 55% not doing that and just keep Kuminga. And why would Jonathan want to go to Washington though, man? Interesting. Horford expected to commit to the Warriors. So we knew that. Good. So that's what I missed. Anthony Slater with the tweet as I went live. I need to look for the Jake Fischer video. So let me find that for you. Just hadn't caught up to it yet. Oh, this one? Let's see.
Kuminga needs the money that he
Yeah.
looking for to go somewhere else. So I would say it's more.
Oh, I thought hold on. Let me put it on the Discord. Kuminga. Oh, I have it. No, I put the Horford one on for the live right now. Okay, I just posted it. One new message right here. I'm going to play this and scroll away so you can listen to it. I'm not here to just copy the guy's YouTube, okay?
Kuminga needs the money that he is looking for to go somewhere else. So I would say it's more likely. I'll say 65-35 going back to Golden State until we get real movement elsewhere, because he is a member of the Warriors and they have the rights to match everything. And until another team really presents an offer, like, his most likely scenario is going back, taking a short-term deal. He could, in theory, technically take the qualifying offer that's on the table, that's been offered to him. I don't think we're going to get there, but until a real team emerges with a contract figure that gets Jonathan Kuminga excited, the Golden State Warriors are absolutely the most likely scenario for him. That's just, it has to be. So they have to be past 50-50. It has to be 65-35. Is Orlando making a move from Big Gravy 9-7?
Okay, so that's another topic. I guess they did the edit on that one, little bad. Let's take a look at Washington. Let's just confirm Brett Siegel's idea. It's just an idea. You go to cap sheets. You go to Washington. And here we go. Wow, Marcus Smart at 21 mil. Wait a minute. We can't make that trade. Marcus Smart shouldn't be included in there. It'd be, yeah. You forget it's the base year compensation rule. Like, I'm glad I went to the cap sheet. You always go to the cap sheet. That's my recommendation to you. Always do that. So 47-30 mark. Looking at Anthony Slater's latest rumor on Washington. Can't be Smart. He makes too much. 22 million. I mean, you could do this in February. Can't do this now. So Brett Siegel, I think he was saying either Marcus Smart or, of course, Kispert or Kelly Olynyk. And I'm sorry, I'm not doing JK for Kispert straight up. I'm not even doing that for Olynyk, especially if we're getting Horford. So I just let's look at the Slater article. I'm gonna have to burn one of my monitors here and hook this up to. I hope this works. Hook this up to my iPhone so we can read the article together. Let's give that a try. Little bonus tangent for you guys. And again, I haven't looked at your comments at all, so I hope we're good to go there. How do I do this again? QuickTime. New movie recording. There we go. Screen. Okay. So, let me write this in the notes. We are at the 50-minute mark. Okay, we're still, okay, cool. I did write it in. Present screen. There it is. Boom. Now you can see my phone. This is for the VIP. Watch me go live with SGA Sports Talk channel and he's naked. What a way to ban Let's Go Warriors. Don't be saying let's go make a trade already. Can you not do that? I told you I'm timing out people that complain. I don't want that. Oh man. That's what you do on Twitter. We are the antithesis of Twitter. So here's the article. Hold on, let me do something real quick. Pull up the article for you. Let's read it together. Okay, present screen. Okay, fourth day agenda restricted and without, according to have been searching for 7.9 million qualifying offer. That's the live I'm going to do next, and that will be on Monday. Yeah, Monday. We have a live on Saturday for Cali Classic, so yeah, I better do it Monday. The Milwaukee Bucks have also registered varying levels of interest. Wow. How are you going to do that? You're going to add 30 million to your cap sheet or 25, 20? Josh Giddey's having problems at the top of your screen. Yep. Don't be mad. It's restricted free agency. It is what it is. Don't be one of those fans. Be high vibrational. Cam Thomas and Quentin Grimes are also in holding patterns. It's tough to be restricted, man. When you're not a no-brainer on the extension, it's tough to be restricted. I don't see anything of the Wizards. Where's the Wizards? Did he just put it in a tweet? Oh, the Washington Wizards entered the mix. It has gained real momentum. What? Wow. Okay, let's take a look at some of these teams. Milwaukee. Brooklyn has space. I think Chicago has space. Maybe Miami too. That's a lot to look at. But I'm interested in the whole Washington situation. They are currently 172 million. Where's Miami at? Let's check Miami. You know, the funniest thing I saw about Miami was the whole trade for Wiggins to the Lakers. And they want Dalton Connect plus a first-round pick. It's just kind of funny that you would add a first-round pick to acquire Wiggins. I would have never thought that. 182 million, so they're under the luxury tax at the present. And who else do we got? Hold on, let me fix this. Size that. Milwaukee Bucks. How can I forget? I forgot 2 seconds after I said that. Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, so here's the cap sheet with Miles Turner. They are 162. Wow. but they've got dead cap, total payroll, dead money, total salaries, still 162. Okay. They get Kuminga, that'd be 192. I'm sure they're willing to pay. Yeah, I think I think Milwaukee's a lot more realistic than Washington. Because Washington, gonna get out of here by 9:30. Washington, wow, they got a lot of players under contract. Easy to get rid of though, but let's see. 172, they would lose, say, Kelly Olynyk. Let's go with Corey Kispert. 14 million. Put him at 158. J.K. put him at 188. Yeah, they could get below the tax. Okay. Washington. Yikes. I hope J.K. doesn't get shipped out to Washington. All right, let's go to the comments. So now I'm done hooking up my phone there. You saw the Slater article. Corey Kispert would be great. It's not a fair value though. It's not a shopping spree. I'll just go in reverse chronological order. I totally disagree that Kispert would be a good trade for JK. Horrendous. Why would they trade Sar? They're the one rebuilding. They're not going to trade Sar. Horford is not going to. Oh, per Stein right now? They'll make me, like, don't be so loose with the information. That's what I'm telling you not to do. You guys keep doing it. What do you say? Is it Stein right now? Not signed, but expected. There's a difference. Yeah. But anyways, that was my OCD journalist talking there. I just showed the cap sheet, which reinforces the notion, the cap sheet of GSW and Lakers, which reinforces the notion of Horford expected to sign with GSW, right? That way you don't have to rely on Twitter. Does that make sense? Don't put that, don't put NBA Central on my channel, bro. Stop it. You need my Discord because, oh boy. Do I see Warriors making a trade tomorrow? No. We just talked about that. It's going to take a while. Give Kuminga some space, guys. You guys never had multiple offers? You guys never had a job search? Again, Here's me, Rich at Let's Go Warriors, reminding you to be a human being. Sadly, in this day and age, that's where we are, 2025. Got to remind you to be a human being in terms of like, let's give Kuminga some space. There's nothing wrong with trying to maximize your value, even though it's damn near impossible in this market. Like Jabari Smith, 24.4 million. That's pretty much the ceiling. And Houston's doing some things with their roster manipulations. So, all right, let's keep going. Yeah, so you got to be careful with the confirmed. You got to be careful. Expected. Expected is different than confirmed. Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas has such a cheap salary right now. It would be fiscally irresponsible for Nets to do that, to move him. They'd have to be desperate, and they're not desperate. They're rebuilding. They're not trading Cam Thomas at a $4 million salary. Or let's just look it up. Again, when you name names and you hear names, I highly recommend just go to the cap sheet and let's just go see what the guy's making. You can't expect anybody to memorize everyone's contract. So just go here and let's just look at his contract real quick. Did I put Brooklyn Nets? He's on the Nets, right? Oh boy, is he a free agent? Well, then I stand corrected. Let's just go look him up. Let's see, Google. Oh, here we go on a tangent again. Oh, he must be restricted, right? Qualifying offer. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can't trade for a restricted free agent. Let's put it that way. Assuming Cam Thomas is a RFA, we cannot can't get involved in that right now. I mean, I guess you could, depends on what they want to what his market value is. That's a tough one. I don't think Cam, I think the bigger picture is Cam Thomas a good fit next to Steph and Draymond? If Jonathan Kuminga's not a good fit next to Steph and Draymond, I don't see how Cam Thomas is. He's a great athlete and great, I think he's better than Kobe White, in my opinion, but that's based on watching 2 games a year for the last couple of years. But I really like Cam Thomas, but I don't know that he fits. So Giannis, oh golly, are you just throwing names? A package for Giannis. Yeah, let's not talk about that yet. That's so pie in the sky, What else is going on? Ben Simmons. Okay. Let's take a look. Well, here's the problem. Ben Simmons can't be higher on the list than Simmons is probably not higher on the list than Horford or Melton. So unless Ben can come here, and even then we don't have a veterans minimum, an older veterans minimum. Remember, I went through that on the spreadsheet. Right here, way over here on our final roster, we're pushing so close to the, let's just say we gave Horford and Melton the taxpayer mid-level each. Again, this is being under the luxury tax of 187, which you can see. Look, let me put these to the rookie minimums. We'd be at 184, puts us under the luxury tax. Then you can use the 14.1 non-taxpayer mid-level. Then you can pay Melton whatever you want under 14 million. So let's divvy it up evenly and just give them what they would have gotten as a taxpayer mid-level. But the way you sell that to Horford and Melton is you go, hey, we get to have you guys together as if we had two taxpayer mid-levels, because we just traded Buddy out to clear the space for you guys to get this $14.1 million exception. Whew, yikes. But let's see. Can this 14th spot, or maybe this older vet, maybe this is Ben Simmons right here. So yeah, Ben Simmons can come here on a vet min. Sure, why not? That'd be good. But the thing is, why would he want to be like 11th man? You know, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's leave TJD out. QP is going to play 7. Horford's 8. Melton's 9. So Ben Simmons, do you want to come to the team and be the 10th guy? Or do you want to go play for, like the Clippers, he was the 6th man, 7th man, 8th man. That's pretty high on the pecking order. So that's what he's got to weigh. And he's got to weigh his other offers, where does he have a chance to win a championship? And so that's why all these lower level guys like Ben Simmons, those get all figured out later, like probably as we get closer to or past July 6th. When is Horford going to make his final decision? He doesn't need to. Horford can just wait until Kuminga is resolved, because, and this is one of the main points that I want to make, because he might get the opportunity to make more than the taxpayer mid-level of 5.6 million if we get under the tax. And we can do that if our team is looking really balanced and we trade Buddy. Sorry, Buddy. It's just the salary slot. It could have been anybody. Could have been Moses, but actually I'd rather have Moses than Buddy. His salary reflects that versus Buddy. No disrespect to Buddy. He's one of the best shooters of all time. So that's why I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Horford not signing right away is not bad news. It's just waiting on what Kuminga's cap sheet charge will be. The translation, let me translate Bruce Maro for everyone else. Don't worry about Ben Simmons and other vet min guys, because they are vet min guys. That's the advice. I always talk about big fish and little fish. Worry about the little fish. I'm worried about the big fish and worry about the little fish later. All right, I'm going to wrap up the live. I hope to get through any comments that I missed. Yeah. And by my cap sheet analysis, it would be shocking if Horford retires, especially when he has an outside chance of getting more than the taxpayer mid-level. I don't think he's retiring. So again, if you were to get all these guys to jump up at the same time, you could get Horford, Melton, and Dame Lillard and Herb Jones for JK and Buddy, essentially. That's not bad. You've completed your roster. Yeah. But let's not throw guys under the bus. Don't need to call people trash. They're way better basketball players than you. Oh, Beal. I'm glad you brought up Beal. Where can I find that? Okay, so we had a couple of okay, Boucher seems like also a vet min spot. So that's kind of up to Boucher. But yeah, he's, 7-foot wingspan plus. As an 11th man. Doesn't hurt. And now let's look at Brad Beal. We can only get Brad Beal if he's a veterans minimum. So the scenarios where Beal gets bought out are all non-taxpayer mid-level salaries. We cannot afford him. So the answer to that is this. So all the scenarios that the cap sheet experts have come up with, they're all under the situation where Phoenix buys him out for his full salary minus 14 million, right? And they can't even legally buy him out unless it's like that level or less, because you can't commit more than 15% of your cap space to dead cap. And so Phoenix can only do so much on that, and Beal is only going to forfeit so much, and then he's going to want to recoup that, especially if the contract has been voided and therefore his no trade clause is gone forever. So for Beal to buy out, he's going to want a contract that's bigger, and the only way to do that is if you have cap space, which is pretty much only the Brooklyn Nets. Let's check Detroit. Let's check where Detroit's at with their cap space. They are 161. Salary cap's 154. They're over the cap, so they can't. Yeah. Who did they get? Oh, they got Duncan Robinson. So they spent their cap space on, well, either Duncan or Karras got the non-tax mid-level. That's 14.1. Duncan got cap space. So Detroit's done on the free agent front. Looks like Paul Reed is going to get the taxpayer mid-level. And so Beal would want to find a team that can do the non-taxpayer mid-level. Therefore, us getting Beal, super duper low chances, super duper. If you had to choose between Beal and Lillard, I would choose Lillard just because Dame with the clutch gene. Not that Beal's a bad player, and Dame is. It'd be tough not to get Dame. You know, he's a top 75 player, also top 75. Okay. Any other comments before I log off? Horford is way too old, but there's nobody else. There's no other, stretch fives. And he's not way too old. Go check his stats. Go check Horford's stats last season. He was one of the most productive guys. And I think there was a Celtics guy on Twitter said Horford was one of the better defenders last year. What else? Saric and a first-round pick? What? What is that? Amy's in the house. RJ's in the house. Thanks. Cam Thomas is restricted. Yeah. It's tough to get involved in the restricted because, they're in their own negotiations, and it's not like we're not Brooklyn. We can't just come in and offer Cam Thomas something. We literally cannot offer Cam Thomas anything. All right. That's it. I think any other comments I just missed because they're way too old. Ben Simmons. Is Horford 6'9"? He's only 6'9"? Listed? Feels like he's more than 6'9", but, could be wrong. Al Horford. Do they have wingspan 7'1"? That's funny. They put the wingspan overview, Wikipedia. Yeah, 6'9". Wow. Just like Looney. Looney 6'9", right? That's crazy. I thought he was taller. Come on, Looney. 6'9", 222. What? But his wingspan is 7'1". What is Kavon's wingspan? Kavon Looney wingspan. Oh, 7'4". Oh, what? Man, the stats are defying the eye test. I think Al Horford plays pretty good defense. All right. Got to get out of here. Herb Jones will not be traded. Okay. Do you have a link? I said it at the top. Before we go, anybody that came here, saw the title, goes, oh, I saw Jake Fischer say that Herb Jones, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I know. I said that in the live earlier, which is hard to cover all my bases. But I said that earlier that Herb Jones is, I mean, the cap sheet, also the cap sheet analysis would tell you that any deal that lands Kuminga on the Pelicans pushes them to near the second apron. So easy, bro. Yeah, Lee, you drew your sword at me. I'm like, dude, I'm not here to fight you. Oh, gosh. You guys are so wound up, man. And in fact, that comment is from way earlier. Thanks. Bol Bol. I might as well just stay on the live until 10. Let's take a look at Bol Bol after I take a screenshot of this. Let's share the cap sheet because I did want to kind of put this here at some point. There. That's a good photo to take. Cool. 123. Let's take two of them. Let's do this version. Wow, you guys are thirsty for Warriors free agency news. Either that or it's middle of the day, July 4th in the Philippines, where they do not celebrate July 4th, obviously, as it's American Independence Day. Yeah, so Boucher, veterans minimum. They all got to be veterans minimum. Bol Bol, shoot, what team is he on? Can't even remember. He was on Denver, right? So anything's got to be a veterans minimum. So bye-bye. So we need to send this dude this, and I'm just going to play this
Energy
one
is
more
first.
time.
You can sit down with somebody for 2 minutes and just exchange a few words and know where that person is vibrationally. If they talk about other people, gossiping, hating, like, all right, this might not go that far. I remember one time I had a moment in the studio where J.Cole was there, and I was just having a bad day, and I started just talking trash. I was talking to my other friend, Teron, and Cole came in the room, and within 2 minutes, he heard what we was talking about, and he got up and left. And I just remember being like, damn.
What we say?
Why did he do that?
Yeah.
But then I realized we wasn't on the same frequency. He not on that. Complaining, that kind of conversation does not circulate in higher level rooms. He didn't judge me. He didn't say nothing bad. He sat there, he listened for like a minute, and then he got up and left. Because what happens is when you're high vibrational, most likely, those people are going to bring you down. You're not going to be able to bring them up.
Okay, so on the anybody, whether it's Bol Bol, whether it's Boucher, whether it's Ben Simmons, all these guys, they're going to have to be veterans minimums, because I looked at the cap sheet analysis, and if there was a trade for Herb or anybody at the 14 million or whatever, then the people that love to draw their sword. So it's all about the value. You can put in any name in here. 13 million, 12 million, 15 million. That's what we're looking at. And so over here at the end of the bench, all I want to do is be able to fit Damian Lillard somehow. And he's got to be fit in the offseason. We have to do that so he can get his bird rights. Also, so that the stretch wave, we're not capped at. I think we're still good though at the first apron. Anyways, it's going to be a vet min. It's going to be counted as far as I know, 2.5 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. If some of these numbers are wrong, definitely let me know, because that's essential to our learning here. But yeah, again, the real, I mean, if you want me to change the title, the real theme of this live stream is that if you trade Buddy Hield out and you get a quality guy in that you want to trade JK for, then you can open up the non-taxpayer mid-level and pay some of these guys more if you had to convince them to come here. And then you'd also have some more room to add Damian Lillard. But overall, I already wrote, I literally wrote on the website that it's better to just keep JK from a fiscal standpoint, fiscal responsibility. So LetsGoWarriors.com. Dunleavy should just match offer sheet. So the fiscally responsible play. Just match the offer sheet. Because, or just negotiate. And it doesn't look like there is an offer sheet coming from Brooklyn, for example. Fiscally responsible to keep JK. Straight up senior team, yeah, but that was always, the case with Steph and Dre dyad. I mean, you can't complain about that after 4 rings in 10 years. But if you're complaining, then that's another issue. That's your issue. Let's go Warriors for the people hopping on just now. This channel is the antithesis of Twitter. The opposite. Does that make sense? We are human beings. Act as such. Don't be mad here. Don't complain, really. I don't want to complain. Do that somewhere else. Okay. Losing Buddy and J.K. Yeah, I don't want to lose Buddy, really. Only if we get Melton. And even then, I admit there are health concerns. We better have other guys. It'd be really good to have Damian Lillard. If Damian Lillard is on the roster and we have lost Buddy in the process, that takes the sting away a little bit, but definitely needs shooting. Maybe Will Richard will just be an awesome shooter. Yeah, is Will Richard an awesome shooter? How good of a shooter is Will Richard? I don't know. That's a lot of rookies. It's hard to look at that. Yeah, everybody joining late, that's the dark side of the pillow with live streams, is that you guys are repeating a lot of questions I already answered. So sorry if I don't feel like answering it. Oh well. You go do a live stream, you'll see what I mean. Karna, yeah, I'm good. Read a lot of your comments already and answered them. Will Richard is Jordan Poole. He's got the shifty moves of Jordan Poole. Wow. Bruce, tell your girlfriend to back off and answer my question. Anyways, welcome from India. It's a long ways away. All right, so on the Summer League guys, I'm really only excited about guys that I already kind of know, like Taron Armstrong, Will Richard, honestly, Alex Tuhey, and, draft picks that guys that we drafted. Anybody else is like a real flyer, as is the case on any Summer League team, and they rarely make a dent unless you're Daquan Plowden, and that's like the first guy in many years who wasn't drafted by us to really make a difference and jump off the page during Summer League. By the way, I just got my Summer League credential, although I don't know when I'm going to go. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know what to believe on the 17 pounds. I should ask. Let me ask my guy. Hold on. I'm texting my guy. Okay, we'll see. I'm surprised QP. No, I'm not surprised. He's way far and above Summer League competition. And I've said every year, Summer League is a dangerous game. Guys are out of control. You can get injured. I don't want to get too excited about Summer League, but it is something to root for coming up. And we'll be here Saturday, 3:30. Lakers, Warriors. uh, Yeah, appreciate you hopping on. To summarize real quick, so many things can happen here with the Jonathan Kuminga spot. that there's a chance that Horford could get something other than the taxpayer mid-level. So why not just wait it out? What if JK says, oh, I'm taking my qualifying offer and I want to be an unrestricted free agent next summer? Horford all of a sudden went from 5.8 million to probably more, 5.6 million to maybe, it opens up the non-taxpayer mid-level. Then we can go get Horford and Melton at 6 million a piece, hypothetically. Just punch in at 6 million. Copy here. See, we're still under the first apron now. That is if we trade out Buddy Hield and bring in so that people aren't angry at me, not Herb Jones, but anybody making 14, 15 million. Does that make sense? Again, cap sheet analysis. Rules. It rules. You understand these numbers? Everything that you see on Twitter, it just bounces off of you. You become a happier person. That's what I'm, trying to get through to you. But some people just don't understand that. And it's a shame. Just think about your birthday. Just think about Christmas. Wouldn't you want to feel the way you feel on your birthday or Christmas? The problem is all those other stress factors. Somebody stabbed you behind your back. I know the feeling. That somebody, you got to go to work on Monday. You're working at that 9 to 5. There's nothing you can do about it. It's tough, but understand it's that, and it's not the Warriors. It's that thing that's causing you anxiety, stress, fight or flight mode. That's what we're battling. It's not even Twitter, because all the people that, life is tough, and it's reflective of that. How many people, you go walk outside right now, go outside your house in the daytime, let's say, tomorrow morning, go walk around, and how many people out there look like they're having a great day? And that's the problem these days. These apps, you thumb type your life into the abyss. Don't thumb type complaining anymore. Stop that. Don't do that anymore. That's step number 1. Then you can go back to being a human being. And I know it's tough. Think about it. If your country was being invaded, wouldn't you feel threatened? Wouldn't you want to fight? Do you think you can, take time out of your day and be just joyous about the Warriors? No. You're going to carry that into the Warriors game. Any little thing that goes wrong, you're already feeling it. You feel it out there in your environment. Your country's being attacked. You're pissed. You're outraged. That outrage is going to carry right into how you view the Warriors, which is something goes wrong, you're going to want to attack. You're going to want to judge. You're going to want to fight, because that thing that's happening on the Warrior screen isn't going well. But you're already in that mode. So I get it. It's tough. But that's where I need to tap you on the shoulder. Go, hey, let's turn it around. Just like Steph Curry would say, let's turn it on its head. Why do you think Steph is so joyous all the time? Because he's trained his mind. He's trained his mind to have gratitude, appreciation, mindfulness, empathy, and respect. 24/7. Credit to him. He's figured it out. So if you can embody that, you'll be just as joyous as him. All right. Warriors seeking a first-round pick. Who said that? Saw that report on Instagram. What report? It's hard to wade through the... Oh, QP? QP said that on the podium. I think, actually, no, 95.7. Anything else before I log off? Okay. Bez Mabeng. Okay. Ivy League defender. Okay. Yeah, but it's I mean, no, don't say that. Okay, anything else? Giants won 2 in a row. Yay. It's good to be a casual MLB and NFL fan where I could just be a bandwagoner, root for the Giants when it's convenient. See, look, I gotta show you guys one more time. Join our Discord for all the feeds to reputable NBA reporters. You can start with the free one, but honestly, you're better off with the paid one. Discord VIP. Free trial on that one. Free version is also available, but not as what's the word? Not as thorough. Quick. Go check it out. WAP.com. let's end the poll while we have a chance. Oh, thanks, man. Oh, this bucket hat doesn't show up well on the background. Well, stayed a little longer than I thought I would. That's fine. Yeah, so we got that one, and you got free version as well. And yeah, again, just to recap, really this whole thing was, why is Horford waiting? It's because there's a chance that he could get paid more than the taxpayer mid-level. Because right now, we'd have to pay him the taxpayer mid-level and Melton the regular veterans minimum. But there's a chance if JK goes, I'm taking the qualifying offer, I want to be an unrestricted free agent next summer, screw you guys, then that opens up the taxpayer mid-level. I mean, the non-taxpayer mid-level. But yeah, I'm repeating myself now. All right, then, let's just call it a night. Appreciate everybody. Go check out the Discord. One more look at the Discord. Let's make sure nothing came down the pipe. That would be crazy news. Okay, what are these? Oh boy. Charlotte Hornets signed Ziyohn James. Oh, and the next live Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Cali Classic. Lakers, Warriors, then Valkyries. Oh, okay, let's catch up. 50 new messages. Oh, that's a lot. Jump to present. Okay, let's see what happened. Again, this is the VIP version, not the free version. The free version, you don't get the Bay Area feed. Bradley Beal buyout intensified. Again, we cannot afford Bradley Beal. He's probably going to get the non-taxpayer mid-level $14 million from somebody. If that changes, then we'll know. But we can't even. We're going to pay Horford the taxpayer mid-level. So either we're, I don't think we're getting Beal. Yeah, and then we saw this. I showed you this article by Anthony Slater. So that's it. Let's pull up the Cholo file and call it a night and see you on Saturday.
Today he came back. He came here today talking about how he got a new blicky.
For the uninformed, what's a blicky?
You don't know about no blicky, man. You had a blicky? You told me you had a blicky growing up.
Yeah.
You was a shooter.
A strap.
Yeah, that's a blicky.
Birthday. We'll see you Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.